your term. I don't know what you guys want to do on that.
Okay. So I make a motion to deny number 12 and have the mayor enact the 60-day clause, is what you call it? 60-day
Termination clause.
termination clause to revisit. Am I doing okay?
You're doing great.
To revisit a new contract that would state a 5% increase for 1 year.
That's adequate.
Okay.
So we're
Becker,
at
what do you have a problem with that?
next 3 years, it'll be about $1,891.50. Just ballparking it with if you just did 5% over the next 3 years. Just food for thought.
No, Mayor.
And this is ground that
Percent of 12,000 would be
$600, and then it'd be 630, then 661.50.
Mayor.
3 years. Yes, ma'am.
It's the
Go ahead.
principle. It's not the number, it's the principle of behind the increase. Anyway, does anyone want to second my motion?
Second.
There's been a motion, it's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Sanders.
gotta wait for the right place to get in there. Paul?
You look like you want to hide behind that flag again.
No, this is one of the reasons I got in this chair. They are executing the legitimate option under the lease.
Correct.
We're going to deny them that.
With the 60-day termination clause.
This will terminate before 60 days. You're already inside that envelope. This is supposed to terminate the 31st. You're going to be so close to not being able to do it.
Do you not have
exercising
60
14.
days?
No, it's August 31st, I thought, of this next month.
The term,
Am I wrong?
August 14th.
Am I wrong?
August 31st of 2026.
Yeah.
Current lease term expires on August 31st, which means 60 days prior to that would have been June, July 1 or June 30th. Yep. You guys missed your window.
Mayor,
Councilwoman Workla.
they addressed this letter to you July 8th, 20 days ago. Is it still within, I guess?
It would have been
Within-
late then too.
Okay.
It's, they waited. I mean,
They waited. Yeah, they made.
I don't want to perceive a malintent, but they conveniently waited until it was after it and then said, we'll take 5 years.
Yep.
So clever. Well done on their part.
Blah, blah, blah.
So council, we got a motion
You
and a
have an
second.
option is to approve it at this point.
We got a council, we've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing,
Try, Jenny.
what's that?
I said, nice try, Jenny.
You know what the look on my face is right now.
Yeah, I do. I'm sure you're holding up one finger.
So with that,
We withdrawing that one.
okay.
I'm not.
Oh, is it, so legal, is that a with,
Legally, you're back, you're pigeonholed.
okay. So with,
what I asked.
What's that?
so with that, council, I think we've got legals. Unless you still want to vote on it.
Let's follow through with the vote.
Okay, there's been a motion for a call or motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the question. Councilman Harjo.
Nay.
Councilman Workla, Councilwoman Workla, sorry.
Just oh my gosh. I guess, I mean, if there's no other option, I'll have to say nay.
Yeah, it's a
Councilman McCarthy?
Nay.
Councilman Sanders?
Nay.
Okay,
Mayor.
well, Councilman Harjo.
oh, you could have withdrawn it again. That's mean.
13.
We could have. The
I
vote,
agree
the
that-
vote doesn't preclude us from being able to read it. Topic's not dead.
But we've
That was
not,
just-
we've not
that was
approved an
denying-
extension.
That was
so-
denying.
Right.
That was
Now
denying
you gotta
that
approve
motion.
the powers request. So with that,
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve action item 13 to approve and renew the, to approve Idaho Powers request. 12. Sorry, I'm all over the page here. Start over. A motion to approve action item number 12 to approve Idaho Power's request to exercise the lease extension for the Bennett Mountain Industrial Substation Yard lease and authorizing the execution of any required documents.
Let's see.
Reluctantly second.
With that, bit of motion and a second, I'll call for the question, or sorry, any further discussion?
Yes, Mayor.
Councilwoman Workla.
Paul,
Yes, ma'am.
we're 100% pigeonholed.
I keep waffling every time Decker points out a sentence to me.
And I'm not helping.
And then she keeps saying, no, it's good. Yeah, the way I'm reading section 6, lessee can do it with 30 days written notice anytime. We are bound to do it only 60 days prior to the end of the term. And so if in fact the end of the term is August 31st, 2026, and we have to do it 60 days prior to the expiration of that period, we missed our window. Which means now looking at that first paragraph where it says that it's a $12,000 for a 1-year term with the option to the lessee to extend it for up to, not to exceed 5 additional years. They can choose. It doesn't say lessee or lessor. It just says lessee. So the lessee can choose at their option 5 years at 12,000 per year. I don't necessarily think it's 60,000 up front. I think it could be read because of the quote unquote additional terms. I think that's equivocal. And we missed our window, Jenny, August, 60 days prior to August the 31st, 2026.
All right, it's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Sanders,
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla,
Aye.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Gonna run down to item number 13, approve agreement to renew the waste collection service contract. And this is the one I think we pulled because we want to do the interlineation change for the Idaho code, correct? That was the only thing we wanted to add to it, was the Idaho code section.
Mayor,
Councilman McCarthy?
and we were waiting for
Oh,
the exhibit
yep.
and all that information.
So with that, council, what do you want to do?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Sanders.
I move we approve the agreement to renew the waste collection services contract with the public services.
Adding the code, what was it?
And by interlineation,
Yeah,
provide citations of relevant Idaho code.
we got a second?
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Sanders?
I do want to take note in this that first, congratulations on getting the substation, the extra station availability done. And that the rates are staying the same this year. I think it's a reflection of that. And that's kind of like keeping your promises that when we talked about that potential the last time you were here. So I'm grateful to see that, and I'm looking forward to continued partnership. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
With that, I'll call for the question. Councilman Harjo?
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla?
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilman Sanders?
Aye.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
We're gonna run down to action item number 2. That was the one that I pulled that El Alonso could make it. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tiffany, that they want to ask the council what's your level of for it or against it or whatnot. What was that pretty much what they're wanting to gauge, this council or this body?
Yeah, they have to enter into some contracts with Keller and Associates along with their engineering company on the infrastructure portion of their project. And before they proceed with large expenditures, as studies can be, they want to know how the body will entertain the growth or those kind of ideas. So they will come and speak, and like they came and talked to us the other day, and considering we have 2 new individuals and things have changed and things don't really progress very rapidly with them, we advise that they come and speak. You guys
So-
provide the direction.
Tiffany, this would not be an action item then, correct?
At this point, like, I don't, I wrote it as an action with, obviously there's nothing, but some dialogue needs to be given of whether we're in or we're out or how we feel. So
Would,
I don't know
Mr. Mayor,
legally.
Mr. Sanders?
Given how I wasn't privy to the previous presentation that was done, if the content of that presentation is not confidential in any of its sections, rather than, and they do want dialogue with us.
Mhm.
It would seem a workshop would be the appropriate way to approach that, maybe as part of that council meeting when they come in.
Okay.
So that we can have that dialogue without an action item being on the table, so there can be a freer exchange of information.
Mayor.
Sounds good. Councilman.
Councilman Sanders, that's exactly what happened last time. Thank you.
Okay, that's an easy ask. Okay, we're gonna run down to action item number 3, deliberation decision regarding payment processing fees. And with that, Councilman Sanders, the floor is you're in charge. I gotta go find a charging thing. I can't get on there.
Council members, you've had in your packet the information provided by staff regarding options toward the issue of convenience fees. At this point, I'm going to suspend Robert's Rules of Order for open discussion.
Okay, Council President.
I
You
just
already
suspended
suspended.
rules of order, so go right
I
ahead.
know. I'm just trying to get someone's attention. Hello. Anyway, so I want option 1. I know that staff was pushing for option 2. I give them kudos on why they want to do option 2. However, it is a convenience fee, meaning that they need to pay for that convenience, especially since we have other options for the community to pay their utility bills, right? So you can either drop it off in the drop-off box any time of the day, or during, when City Hall's open, you can bring in your bill, you can pay in person. So anytime there's a convenience fee with any other business in the world, it always lays on the consumer. So when it said that the city was absorbing this convenience fee, it's not the city that's absorbing it. It's all of the taxpayers that are absorbing it, but not all taxpayers are utilizing that. Go save a stamp if you don't want to pay the convenience fee, and just drop it off in the drop-off box or within City Hall. I know that it said that if the city, let me get my glasses on here. It says, if the council determines that additional cost recovery is necessary, the city can transition to a full submitter model at a later date. But beginning with the hybrid model allows both customer and city staff to adjust gradually to new payment structure, reducing the likelihood of customer confusion or dissatisfaction during implementation. However, if you raise a price, it will make people upset. But then if you turn around a year later and raise it again, it'll make them even more upset. Just have them pay the 100% convenience fee and straight up initially without doing the staggered increase. That's my my opinion. So option 1.
Paul, I have a question for budget. Didn't we eliminate that whole guide or that GL line for next year's budget?
Mayor and councils, so we originally met with Invoice Cloud and were provided the slides, the memos from us to help narrow down the scope. Invoice Cloud recommended option 2. They strongly recommended it because it's easier for the consumer. I know the city would have to pick up part of the fees. If you go with the consumer paying all of it, the electronic checks goes up to almost $3, whereas now it's like 2.
Yeah.
So it's completely up to the council.
Sorry, Paula, not to interrupt you, but for the for our next year's budget cycle, I thought we got rid of it. So we
You
have
did.
nothing
There's
allocated.
0 fees allocated in there.
So if
So
we went with option 2, we would essentially have to readdress that for the budget, correct?
or you would overdraw that line, you would get a memo saying this line's going to be overdrawn and it's offset with your reserve fund.
I think
I think the reason why this got brought on as an action item is because this was a staff memo at our last meeting, and I made the request to bring this back on as an action item because of there's options, right? And we need to be able to vote on the options. But yes, Councilman McCarthy, you are 100% correct that what you said during our budget session is what we agreed upon.
so. That's option 1. I'm going to assume.
Are Robert's rules still suspended or not?
Yep.
Yeah, that would be option 1.
Paul, I hate to ask you, shooting off the hip, I know how much you love that. But I'm just curious, you had said that it would come out as an overdraft and we'd have to address it. Any ballpark figure? What would we be talking?
Mayor and council would be split 4 ways. We would try to calculate what the fiber cost is, but then the other 3, it's around 42,000 to get to the end. And if you go with the consumer paying it, we currently are running under a lower utility rate. So the consumer, that rate would increase for the consumer because we would no longer qualify for that. We qualify it because the city covers it. So they're like, if you can cover the electronic fund transfer, the ACH from checking, then they would federally be able to keep that utility rate.
And that's the only difference between option 1 and 2 is the ACH payment portion, which is what a large portion of our utilities is off of.
The ACH or the
Yes.
credit card? ACH. ACH.
What would be the I guess increase? You said we would lose it if we did I'm sorry, using words here. So what would be because you said we get a break by having from the ACH EFT. How much would that then be put back onto the utility bill?
Oh,
the
Councilman
consumer.
Workla.
Yeah,
I don't want to misquote Invoice Cloud.
I know, Paul.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, pros and cons, delinquent. I don't know if it's in their summary.
What's the discount that we lose for going? The 40 grand?
So currently it's 2.7% per transaction. It would go to 3.15 with a minimum charge of $2.95 per transaction. And then the ACH, let me tell you what page that's on. Page 100 of those slides. The ACH, if we absorb it, it's $150. If we pass it on to the consumer, it's $2.95.
If you go to savings analysis full versus hybrid, I don't know what number slide it is.
102.
102.
It gives you the annual biller savings
Right.
in addition.
Paula, it was quite substantial. It was over 100,000 in previous, or this current, wasn't it?
Right. So
That memo.
182, that green
Okay.
full submitter. Yeah.
But if we did do option 2, how much then is the city going to have to pay? Because the city will still have to pay out a portion. Where's
Right.
that at?
Councilman Workla, it's on page 102.
40 grand
40 grand.
Yeah.
or yeah, $40,128.62.
Is what the city would still have to eat. So I guess we need to balance what would be, the better cost is because you said we get a break if we do option 2 with the ACH. But then if we do option 2, we're still paying out the 40,000. The city is paying out the 40,000. So I guess we got to weigh which one would be the better for the citizen.
I think there was just like a final summary on the staff overview.
As of May of 26, in the budget presentation, 122,804.34 was expended. When I wrote that memo for budget. And we had budgeted 112,890. So we're negative already 9,000 heading the end of May. And again, those are divided into several different departments: animal, city hall, golf, library, rec, water, wastewater, sanitation, all absorb the card transaction fees.
The 22% predicted attrition stands out. Paula, in the discussions with them, did they have any direct feedback about the attrition and what payment method that might drive them to, if they're getting away from ACH and EFT if the customer at a projected 22% attrition rate, or was Invoice Cloud, did they have any feedback if that was going to perhaps drive them to check payments or in-persons or anything?
No, it's addressed in the memo. I would say I agree with Councilman Workla. The consumer is used to paying a credit card fee. When we first set this up, I don't know, 20 years ago, the consumer was not used to paying a fee for that convenience. So I agree with her in that aspect. Invoice Cloud recommended doing the hybrid because it's easier for staff and for our customers in the field. Like, okay, I don't want to pay that high fee. Well, we have another option.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm any help at all.
Any info is good info.
So I guess it comes down to having taxpayers pay for somebody else's fee or user fee, I guess. And then when you do, if you guys decide to raise 80 fees or any rates, those are kind of things we talked about in the future too, or in the past, I should say, about, we raised, I'm just gonna say the water 5%. Well, not really, because you have this credit card fee that's gonna offset that. So.
Mayor and council, you have to do a public hearing and a resolution for the fees.
Right.
Yeah, it's coming back. Yeah.
Right. They just need, I think they said they need 6 to 8 weeks to implement whatever decisions made. This was just like, which direction are we going with our fees?
So if we already did our budget around option 1 and our budget's going to close out this month or in the next few weeks, how would that work then if we ended up not budgeting for it and we go option 2?
You would receive a memo from staff that addresses that, and you would still have the GL line would still be open. It just wouldn't have anything in it. So you would receive that memo that this line is going to run negative and it will be offset with your reserve.
Sounds like
You're already doing it.
we're gonna be doing it.
Yeah, you're already negative. So
All right, council, which one you want to do?
Mayor, I'm gonna
Councilwoman
make a,
Workla?
yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna
go ahead.
make a motion to go ahead with option one, full submitter model for payment processing fee policy.
There's a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Since seconded, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilwoman Workla,
Aye.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilman Sanders,
Hey,
Councilman McCarthy,
Hey,
Mayor votes aye. All right, go down to action item deliberation decision regarding the proposed public hearing for bulk water fee. Council, which one do you want to do on that one?
Mayor, at the last meeting, we voted to implement or start the process of creating a water rate study. Kind of at this point, I think after all of the discussion around this, it makes sense to hit pause and rely on the current data of a water rate study.
Council? Thoughts?
Mayor,
Councilwoman Workla?
so we can, let's see. Thank you, Tiffany, for providing the water fee rates. I was okay with increasing it 5% for both of those fee rates that were provided. So 5% increase for per load and per 1,000 gallons according to both of the fee structures. Good point about the water. Oh, shoot.
I should just. I did end on
What
accident.
was the 5%? I didn't see that on your, is it further down? Sorry.
It's funny that she said oh shoot as she was doing it.
Oh,
Usually the
oh,
oh shoot
never
would
mind.
be after she hung
Click
up.
down on
Phone a friend. Oh, hang on. Let me put you on speaker. I thought you were just wanting to talk to me. Okay.
just to chat.
Oh, I just hung up on her. Oh my gosh.
We're
I'm
back
Been
to house
sorry.
tonight.
difficulties.
Jeez Louise.
She's gonna go.
Oh my Lord. I'm incredibly sorry I hung up on you.
No, I was in the, did you notice that I stopped talking in the middle of a sentence? Like, just
No, I hung up on you completely. Like I just hit, instead of speaker, I hit end. So
You should
no,
have
don't
answered
worry.
the phone and said Domino's.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, guys, I apologize. I'm in the middle of nowhere and I was looking everywhere for an outlet and I couldn't find one. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm open to the 5% for both of those fee structures. I know that it was initially proposed at 5%. Ooh, I have bad feedback here. At least on my phone I do. And then I think it was like, oh my gosh, 700 and something percent. But I do agree that maybe a water rate study might help drive that bulk water increase. I just want to hear what the other council thinks about increasing at 5% for both of those fee structures.
Council, what do you got?
Mayor,
Councilman McCarthy.
I'm more inclined to see it and have that completed and come back. So
Councilman Sanders?
Mayor, members of the council, I'm not comfortable just doing a blanket increase on a blind shot. We've gone through the work, we've gone through the discussion, we've gone through the angst to settle in on having that water study done. I could more easily defend what's going to be the outcome. And again, I don't want to go through this twice. We do it now, then the study finds that we're woefully undershooting this at 5%. We want to do something different. We're going back through another public hearing. We're going back through that process again. I'm anticipating it's going to be more than a 5% that's going to be justified here. So I just as soon go through the pain of having that done once and with data to back up the decision we wind up with. So in that regard, I would prefer we table this.
Councilwoman Workla?
Yeah, I think what everyone said is smart, and I think we should just table it then until we get the water rate study.
All right, Mayor. Sound. I got two of you. Who wants to go first? Councilman Harjo?
I was gonna make a motion unless you have something else to say.
Yeah, if I might, just
Councilman.
curiosity, where are we at with the water study? Is Chris, when are we looking at the timeline for that?
Very good question. I will get you an answer tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't really think there's a need to table. I would just not bring it back until you're ready, right?
Gonna make a motion to
Okay.
deny it.
There you go. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I don't want to
Please,
keep it in my
Councilman.
folder hoping.
Mayor,
Sticky note.
I'll make a motion to deny action item number 4 on new business regarding proposed public hearing for bulk water fee.
Second.
Been motion and second. Any further discussion?
I have to put Jenny down.
Aye.
McCarthy?
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla?
Bye.
Okay, I think we're done. Oh, action item number 8. Sorry. Deliberation decision regarding the request for proposed RFPs for operation and management of Desert Canyon Golf Course. Council.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Sanders.
first of all, I cannot thank the people that have touched these documents we've had given to us enough for doing that work. But I will tell you, I went out and bought 4 brand new red pens. I started going through them. I found places where I would love to see things revisited. Amongst the things, one of the things that caught my attention is in your proposal, Mayor, you held out the driving range from revenues.
Mhm.
I don't know if that comports with my understanding of how we left this, where everything was supposed to be on the table for response back. So I want to go back and look at that some more. The scoring system that was identified in these models, I think is, with all respect to the people that put the work in, I think they're a little rudimentary for what we're trying to get when we get a response back. And I have a model that's been used when we did the contracts for the Idaho Department of Correction when we went to private contractors to run prisons, that I would like to submit to this group to consider having as the evaluation model for that. Because if we are looking at contracts, it's going to be a fairly sizable contract. So I think a look at that I would like to be able to do. So at this point, my hope is that we would be given the opportunity to take these documents for a little further deep dive, because I think the answer's in these 3, but they're not any one of the 3, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think Councilman McCarthy did a great job on some, like some of the stuff I didn't even think about, and then some of the things I thought about that Tiff didn't think about. Like we
Well,
all
mine-
kind of just said, "Hey, here's 3, mirror them together, do whatever you guys want." And that was
Yeah,
my
turn,
kind of
turn
thought.
us loose and let us do that.
Exactly.
Mayor, council, mine really had no, it was just uniformity on how we've been doing them lately. And so that's only my request, is some of the uniformity of language. I didn't really have a lot of wow like you two had in your, you guys had some pizzazz in yours, so. But I would like to advise, the timeline needs to probably really be extended. A 30-day turnaround for some of these proposals is really unrealistic in the industry. So just to keep that in mind. And lastly, my one last question as a staff member is, who would facilitate the on-site questions? Because I don't know what those are. So that assignment needs to be given.
Who would that?
Sorry. the
I
audio.
couldn't remember your last name again. Jeez.
Thank you, Mayor. After submitting that RFP over, Tiffany, I agree. I think it needs to be a longer. It's just something that's standard, you
Yeah.
know, so I think for anyone that'd be interested in this, potentially in this RFP, they're going to need more time and that. So I 100% agree. And I will say that I also agree with Councilman Sanders that we have been given some info here between different versions, and I would be amenable to actually have another workshop on the golf course when it comes to discussing these out or bringing it back. So
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo?
I mean, obviously appreciating the amount of work put into these documents. We recently took a vote to show a city operation. We set a budget around the concept of that. We've signed new contracts for 4-Up. We're still under contract for the carts. I understand the concept of this RFP, but like we have two completely varying concepts of how this golf course operation is going to run, and we already voted on one of them. And this deviation branch of an RFP runs very counter to every action that we've already taken. I guess I'm still trying to understand why this concept persists when we've definitively made decision in the other direction.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Sanders?
Councilman Harjo, I don't know if this is going to give you any insight of how I am viewing this. Quite frankly, based on the timing that we were faced with in this past year for the issues we were presented, we didn't have a lot of time to have latitude. We were trying to keep a patient from dying being the golf course. We've stabilized the patient. We've got the pieces in place for it to move forward. Is it the final treatment plan? I'm not sure. And I hope that analogy makes some connection.
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely definitely provides the context. However, even in your own verbiage, during the 6 months of discussion that we had about golf, at a number of points in presentation, your hope was to set a stabilization of that model for a number of 2 to 3 years. So this is the part where, again, I go like, we've made the decision on this trunk line, and here we are creating another branch of mindset and complete opposite direction of what we had already made the decision for. It does not reflect what the Golf Advisory Committee has told us. I'm still reaching for some sort of understanding on like why this concept persists when this was the sentiment across now take 7 full months of golf discussion.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Workla?
So I just want to tell you, I do agree with Councilman Harjo on this, that extremely confused because I wanted the hybrid model. It failed. What did pass through the body of council was to go as a city employee pro city ran golf course. Okay. So with that, Councilman Harjo is correct. Councilman Sanders, you did say, please give this idea that 2 years. Let's give it 2 years as a chance. If it succeeds, it succeeds. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The reason why I abstain from voting to go out with the RFP is because of the frustration level. Like, council just decided to go one way, and then all of a sudden RFPs are being presented and wanting to be dropped and pursued. And again, this is why the golf community is getting really frustrated, is because we made our minds decision. The majority, again, it wasn't me, but the majority made a decision on which way we should go. In the same breath, there was a motion to go off RFP, and I was just getting frustrated. So that's why I abstained from going to RFP. I would have gone off for an RFP if that was the second option, if hybrid failed. Because we all know I don't want it to be city ran. But again, I don't always get my way, I don't always get my vote. So I don't know. I agree with Councilman Harjo. Using everybody. That's kind of what you're implying as well.
Sanders.
Objections are noted, but I offer to you that given the very example of how we've handled this so far, with it taking months to get to the model we currently cobbled into place, the amount of time since the motion was passed to prepare an RFP, how much time has been invested, and we're still at a point where an RFP has not been derived. Imagine the amount of time we're going to need to make it be a good RFP to give us a result that's going to be reliable. We are still, in my opinion, months away from having that RFP. Imagine trying to do that if the city model fails. And now we're looking at months to prepare an RFP that we had the opportunity to have in hand, on the shelf, ready if needed, break the glass if there's an emergency. That's pretty much what I'm asking for. We take our skills, we prepare plan B so there is one should plan A fail.
Mayor.
Councilman Harjo.
I mean, I think that's you're going to find plan Bs across many operations, right? The concept here, though, is that you're going to go out for an RFP and you're going to get the proposer, find the successful proposer. And in all of these languages, it starts the negotiation process then. This isn't a plan B. This is a replacement of plan A. Like that, this isn't a backup plan, because do you intend on leaving the backup plan sitting on the back burner for 2 to 3 years to determine if the city model is going to fail? I mean, it feels, I would be real honest, like it feels incredibly awkward to be the person who was like absolutely trying to keep the golf course expenditure in check and having to be convinced that the city model is what works by most of the rest of the council and staff. And then we come to that agreement to move that forward. And now we go, well, that wasn't what we meant, but it specifically was what we voted on and implemented and have worked towards as well. To use the same sentiment, we've had 7 months of golf discussion to get to that point. And now we're going to just throw that in the garbage to restart afresh with an RFP that replaces the plan A that we all voted on.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Sanders.
The council voted. We went to a city model. The council voted to prepare an RFP. I hold both votes to be valid. I hold both activities required to successfully complete those to be valid. So for me, it's not a plan B. It's the plan you go to when the plan you're using is no longer a plan. And for something that's used as much as this particular amenity is, and how much it means to the community, I would be devastated if we found ourselves as a council, as a city, as a community, once again, looking at this problem with the golf course, should it re-arise, and not be prepared to handle it in a much better way than we just did.
So with that, Councilman Harjo.
So further down in our packet, a memo from staff was included regarding Desert Canyon Golf Course revenue comparison from 24-25 to 25-26, where it shows that even in the sustained operation under the previous model prior to any vote, that we're still up $74,000 and change year over year in total operating revenue. So even still, like that being given what little chance that it was an improvement over the year prior. I think the next question is for the council is define your term of what failure is, because $74,000 of additional revenue does not equate to a failure. I think, at least in my perspective. Now, could that change? I mean, we're partial way through the season and we're up 74,000. Hopefully the trajectory remains the same. We'll be up an additional amount from this. I think bringing definition to what a failure is, because again, like this, the RFP is a replacement for what we already voted on. Like we voted to go that direction. And I'm still failing to understand the plan B perspective here, that this is a break the glass in case of. That if your ask was to let the city model persist for 2 to 3 years, like why not table the RFP for 2 to 3 years? Because are you going to leave the potential applicant to the proposal process just sit and wait for 2 to 3 years to define if this is a failure? Or is from the outset the mindset is, well, that's the city model is the stopgap until we reach the RFP, because that's not what was voiced and that's not what was voted on.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Sanders.
I'm glad to see that revenues are up. I hope they continue, because I do really want a city-run model to succeed. I want it to have every opportunity to succeed. And a definition of failure certainly can be debated. We just approved over $18,000 to go to the golf course out of contingency fund. So I'm glad revenues are up. We just transferred last year $311,000. I'm glad revenues are up. But like most investments, prior performance is no guarantee of future performance. We could have another COVID. There could be a million things that would go backwards. And with the time it's going to take to get this document ready, having the RFP is different than publishing it, the RFP, and requesting responses. But to not have that RFP when you need it, in this particular instance, I think would be unwise.
So council, with that, I guess, digest it like mine. You can ask all the questions like Councilman Sanders said, why do you exclude the driving range? It's the same reason I excluded, like, all the equipment has to be their equipment, not city equipment, kind of thing. Now, I guess the $1 million question is, what are you gonna do with all that equipment? Well, let's say someone did come in and run it. I guess I'd throw it in storage. I don't know. Maybe that would be a contractual agreement between you and said person, but I don't know. I just threw some noodles at the wall and saw what stuck, and like in my own brain, trying to figure out. So take mine, throw it out, do whatever you guys so choose. I was just trying to figure out something, because Councilman McCarthy and I were trying to go back and forth on some of that stuff. So that's what I came up with. He came up with one, and ever talented, beautiful city clerk came up with some of the things that she'd like to see, some of the, like, so like I said, throw it all together. And like I said, this isn't going to be done tomorrow. It probably won't even be done in 30 days, or
It's going to take a while.
it's going to take a while. And I know Councilman Sanders got things that he'd liked in, as he stated, with the scoring system. So I'd be behooved to see what that is. But here moving forward, I'm going to assume, without, I guess I shouldn't assume, but just keep moving forward with that.
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo?
I think I have a very surface level question and just comparison, but in reading between the two documents provided to kind of scope an RFP, it seemed, at least at a surface level, and I just want to kind of confirm the mindset. Mayor, yours seemed to be a model that provided that a successful proposal coming in, and after a negotiation, that entity would pay the city
Yes.
to run that course, and they would then keep whatever profit minus a profit share. Is that
Yes.
correct? Councilman McCarthy, your model seemed to be set that the city would pay them a fixed rate to operate the course. Is that correct?
Right.
Councilman?
No, the intent of the RFP was to be a general, to let them come with what they think. This was based off of the model that Twin Falls had, where they also had profit sharing too. Mayor,
Councilman?
Tiffany, I saw you. I didn't know if you had a piece and wanted to add something.
Thank you. I did. To save everyone's time, it would probably be wise that in the last times we've done some of these, I just email them all in Word form in track. And so then each of you track, it's a trackable document, we're gonna share it, and then we could come back and then have discussion on the document rather than line by line striking through.
Right.
So if we do that with a expected deadline or turn on, and then we can come back and talk at a workshop if needed.
I'm amenable to that.
To Mayor.
Councilman?
And again, I suppose we could discuss this in a workshop. I'm just trying to get through some of this language in Councilman McCarthy's version of an RFP. It states here under term B that the proposers must submit to the city a cost proposal that includes compensation structure for the successful proposers. It is expected that the compensation proposal shall include the provisions to incentivize the successful proposer to increase course revenues, and reduce course operating costs, which is fantastic, right? During the initial phase, the city is willing to work with the successful proposer by defraying some of the initial operating costs. The language here, like I said, like the concept of like we're taking two different roads at the same time is one thing, but like here we have essentially two competing theories. One that the city will be paid essentially by the successful proposer for all intents and purposes to like lease the course plus its operation and maintenance, and that the city will receive funding from that. Under this one, it seems under the cost proposal that the city will be paying somebody to operate that and then potentially have a profit share. I think we're right. If we're going to have this discussion, like a workshop is necessary. And I would also then request that the Golf Advisory Committee have a joint session with that work session, because what's the point of us arguing all of this when we instated a Golf Advisory Committee?
I agree. The Golf Advisory Committee should be a part of this process. And like I said, I looked at Councilman McCarthy's Twin Falls and then the Lewiston one. And then I went out and scoured some of the other ones that I've seen out there, and that like that minimum annual guarantee payment, the MAGP. I really like that thought process. If they're going to take it over, they got to pay to play too. And those monies should go back to the course for better, I don't know, greens or tees, or if they want to put in a bridge or beautification of the course to better enhance the aspect. And the percentage of the gross revenue that I put in there, that's just another, I would like to see the city, if I don't want to give up control of the golf course. I like the direction the council has gone currently, but I understand all sides of this facet, the facet of all the sides. So that's where I wanted that percentage of the gross revenue. I'd like to see that back to the course for enhancing the beautification of it, or a better rate of play, or from whatever it takes to make that course even a better amenity. So that's the only reason why mine is wholeheartedly, well, not whole, like we had a lot of the same stuff in ours. I just added, if I'm going to give up control, I'd like to see the city get some of that revenue. So that's it, Councilman.
And again, that's what Twin Falls had. but my RFP was basing off of that when it comes to, they have the cost sharing, which then they turn around that cost sharing and put into capital improvement projects. So, yep, I agree. So,
Okay, so with that, council, is this something you want to table for now and then get your stuff to our talented city clerk so she can put it in the Word formats and go from there for a little bit? For right now,
Works for me.
there,
Councilman?
since it's an action item, I will make a motion to table action item number 8, deliberation decision regarding the request for proposal, RFP, for operation and management of Desert Canyon Golf Course to work towards sending in the edits and that for our, that's to Tiffany.
Do we got a second?
Second.
Second.
It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman McCarthy,
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla,
Aye.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilman Sanders.
Aye.
Okay, gonna run, excuse me, we're gonna run down to ordinances 1823, amending subsection A of section 9-6-2 of the city code.
Mayor,
Councilman Harjo.
make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule for ordinance 1823 and allow the ordinance to be read by title only for its one and only reading tonight.
Second.
Been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Councilwoman Workla. Councilman Sanders.
Aye.
Councilman McCarthy.
Aye.
Tiffany, please read the ordinance.
Ordinance 1823, an ordinance of the city of Mountain Home, Idaho, amending subsection A of section 9-6-2, chapter 9, title 6, section 2, amendment of the comprehensive plan A of the Mountain Home City Code by striking not more frequently than every 6 months to correct error in the original plan or to recognize I can't say that word because I can't read it. This word, my T-Rex arms, substantial changes in the actual conditions in the area and providing at any time and providing an effective date. That was a struggle.
Glasses, what'd you say?
I know they're right there, but I was like, S's and A's are fine.
Council, you've heard this ordinance read. Do you wish it to
Fix it
pass? Councilwoman Workla.
She said I.
Okay, Councilman McCarthy.
Aye.
Councilman Sanders.
Aye.
Councilman Harjo.
Aye.
Okay. Final comments, data centers. I know planning and zoning, it was brought up today. Planning and zoning wants to have I think it's a workshop meeting with you guys to talk about data centers. So that'll be coming up. 2, we do not have flock cameras. And then 3, we got our RFPs back for 10th Street. And I think Tiffany will send those out tomorrow. We got them back on for Friday. We'll send them out. So you guys, that'll be on the next agenda to vote on. For 10th
Mr.
Street.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I didn't hear.
Oh, Councilman Sanders, sorry.
we have a memo here from staff dated July 22nd on marketing promotions. Several of those deal with providing free or reduced rates. Is that going to have, does that have budget and or fee impact?
Are those the ones that we, are those the golf course ones?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those were, and correct me if I'm wrong, T, that these are times that no one's playing.
I get that. My question is more, if I buy 3 and I get 1 free, that's like giving a donation of our free round. We have a budget line that allows for that. Do we have budget for this?
We probably have a little bit of room to run out of the current operating, depending how many take the promo, considering it's between the hot part of the day. I don't know how many people will take advantage of that, but that's the intent is to run this in the small window and in that what we're trying to call the super twilight to see if we should be gauging that when we start the fee structure proposal here within the next couple months, and then to run and see what the incentive of these PRs are to then put through in next year's operating budget. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not discounting the intent or
For sure.
purpose behind it. But we've set a fee structure and we've set it by code or by ordinance.
Mhm.
And now we're going to be monkeying with it. So I'm wondering if there's some action this council has to take to formally allow this to go on and if there's any budget impact as a result. Because we are altering an already published and passed fee structure.
You're charging the same, we're charging the fee, you're just providing the discount, which you fund anyways, the donation line, which we could offset with. If it exceeds that, then we can come back to you and ask for permission in that case.
Just double checking before we get involved in it. Because then I'm wondering what the impact will be if we find this was actually useful and now we want to make it available all the time. That's going to mess with the fee structure too.
That'll have to come back to you guys.
If it has to come back for that, why isn't it in front of us for this? If round 2 has to have our approval, why does not round 1?
Wouldn't have to go back. Well, no, because we
You could
use the,
waive the fee.
because the new budget would kick, well, see, this is just a trial. This is just for statistical data. See if we can get more play right now till the end of September. October, the budget kicks back over and then you have all the free rounds
Like,
back into the
it's like
budget.
a free round.
Okay.
I agree.
Our side note was the mayor has the authority to waive the fee. So in the sense of if I buy 3, I get 1 free
For an
Mm.
individual.
for an individual, the mayor has the authority to grant that waiver. Would be the same waiver as like on the utility side, we can waive the late fee and we don't bring every one of those back to the body to approve.
This was
Thank
brought
you.
to me for a trial run, and it's not set in stone by any means. I want you to I want to see if we can get people to play in 104-degree temperature.
Yes.
Yeah, with 261 count on the air quality.
Yeah.
Well, and that was before any
Well, they
air
were doing
quality
that.
or that. It really is piloting. And then before any marketing went out, we wanted to make sure you or you're sticker shocked at what we're doing.
Thanks for getting me up to speed.
Anything else, Council?
Mayor.
Councilman McCarthy?
I'm glad that ITD was able to come and talk to us. I really think it would be advantageous to actually bring the engineering team from District 3 to have some further discussions on those intersections that we brought up, especially since hearing from Vincent, there's really no project design numbers in that or allocation of funds or how we're all working it. So I would like to see if we can get that organized to bring them. And I did appreciate Commissioner Corbus coming and trying to bring the county into that, because I think that would be wise as well, bring those discussions. So, which again, those are some contacts that Aaron Vargas and all them, I'm sure Vincent knows. So I would like to see that come back.
Mayor.
Okay, Councilman Harjo?
Question for the council and staff. We approved the dispatch agreement on the city side of the fence, but this still does have to get approved by the Board of County Commissioners. When that agenda item hits their agenda, like to gauge the interest of the council if we would all like to attend in our official capacity, notice out a public meeting so we can have a joint discussion if that discussion is necessary upon its deliberation in their meeting room.
I don't know that I would anticipate there being any other snags at this point. Do you?
I've been present for a number of their discussions,
Maybe one snag.
but I would anticipate that it would behoove us to be present.
For the dispatch.
Yes.
I'll figure out when it's gonna go. We'll go on this one because there's no Friday meeting. It'd be on
So to be next
the
week.
first one or or the second Friday. So I'll see what Francine
What
says.
time do they meet?
9 a.m.
Mayor,
Okay. I'll make adjustments at work.
Mayor, we can ask that they allocate the time slot. Their agenda runs
Yeah.
pretty blocked in the sense of like, usually like on a 15 to 30-minute schedule.
My
Once they
Fridays are off,
identify
so-
it on their agenda, like we'll know. I mean, maybe we can make a suggestion if an afternoon or a morning or whatever works better. I'm happy to help advocate for that.
Yeah,
Is a Friday afternoon better?
Friday afternoon, late afternoon is better.
Okay.
Mornings are really problematic.
Well, I'll ask
Closer we
Francine.
get the hunting season, even more so.
I'll ask Francine if she can block us out in a later afternoon time slot. Easy ask.
And does the county have the ability to Zoom? No?
Oh,
They
Zoom thing.
do have Zoom, so that could be a possibility. Wouldn't hurt to ask in that sense.
Oh, I could speaker you in.
If by whatever means, me getting it at my current position, me getting to a quiet place, is possible. It saves me the 45 minutes of driving back and forth. My employers would be much happier if I were somewhere in the vicinity. And I can get away from the gunfire so we don't intimidate anybody listening on the other end.
Fair.
Might help it pass.
All right. Meeting adjourned.